Well, as you know, this tank here was entirely wiped out by what I've concluded is probably an equipment malfunction. But the good news is this tank has now rebounded and is ready for the reintroduction of fish. I think it can support fish. I think it's a viable ecosystem. And let me go over with you what I did to bring it back from being a tank that wiped out everything in it. Every single fish in here, including some culiloches, about a dozen plecos, an eel, a starry night, all of them expired all at once and suddenly. From what I have concluded, has to have been a heater malfunction. So I gave this tank a good scrub down of the decor, like the cave. I cleaned the sponges, and I also added some charcoal, some activated carbon that I have inside of this internal filter to remove any toxins or heavy metals that might be going on. And I added a couple test plecos. You can see one down there just outside the cave. There's one pleco, and there's another one swimming around in here, and they're doing fine. I removed the heater that I think was the culprit, and I do have this heater in here still. This is an inexpensive aqua top, but it's run fine. It works okay. Temperatures are pretty warm now, so heating the tanks isn't quite as vital. But regardless, there's a if you go behind here, you'll see that's an Inkbird controller back there. So it would shut off the power if this aquarium was to all of a sudden jump up to a high temperature. It would shut the power off at 80 degrees. This is the sensor right here from the Inkbird. And what the Inkbird controller does is when it reaches a target temperature, it just shuts power off. There wasn't a controller on here before, and I think that may have been what sort of predisposed me to the issue. You can see the second pleco right there. The plecos are doing great, so I'm going to go ahead and add some rasboras, some neons, and some rummy nose. Some of the fish that I want to add to my 55-gallon, my 55-gallon planted tank, I'm going to go ahead and quarantine them in this tank and see how they do over a 30-day period. But I'm pretty much convinced that this tank is now suitable for adding fish once again. And if you have to bring a tank back, I would certainly recommend a cleanup similar to the one I did. And again, you have to sort of balance it because you don't want to kill off all the beneficial bacteria. And in the event of a heater malfunction, something like that, that's very different from a tank that was very heavily diseased. A diseased tank, I mean, I've heard of people breaking them down and treating everything with hydrogen peroxide, or sterilizing the tank and starting over. That's fully understandable with a very serious disease. In my case, I think the steps I took, a cleaning, a big water change, and the adding of activated carbon, the adding of a controller, things of that nature, I think are plenty to bring this tank back to where it can take, where it can support life again. So I think this tank is ready to go. It's back from the brink. I'm going to go ahead and add some fish, and we'll go from there. So there you have it. Hope you find that useful. And if you like this channel, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell. If you're already subscribed, be sure to verify that you still are, because sometimes YouTube will remove your subscription to the channel. I don't know why they do that, but they do. So take a look, be sure, confirm it. If you'd like to support the channel further, consider becoming a Patreon Garage Gang supporter of the channel. Helps quite a bit and starts for as little as $3 a month. And if you'd like to join a great group of fish keepers Spend an hour with us on Saturday at 11 a.m. Central for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream every Saturday at 11 a.m. Central. Great group of fish keepers get together and talk about everything from filters to fish to food and everything in between. Okay, so that's it for me. Thank you so much. And if you want to hear my best tips on fish keeping, check out this playlist right up here. And if you'd like to subscribe, just go ahead and hit me in the mug right there. All right, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. You are the best. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.